Okay, I'm really excited to present to you. Um, I've been spending all my life with InterSystem technology, about 31 years up to now. And we have been doing a lot of data visualization. So this is the topic that I like to talk about. But since everybody now is talking about AI, so my presentation today will be more focused on the data visualization in terms of machine learning and AI. So these are three things that I will talk about: the exploratory data analysis in the machine learning context, the natural language, the SQL, and the retrieval augmented generation, which I think quite some of you all have seen the presentation throughout. Okay. I recorded this yesterday. This is our machine learning module where you can build any models, yeah, including the medical images prediction. Yeah. So here I just show that we load some data, and you can see all this data from TrackCare. Yeah. So it's our demo database. You can go into a column and see what are the possible value of the columns. This is normally what we like to do in EDA to understand our data better. Then we will understand a little bit more to see the count, the frequency, the mean, median, and we can have a visualization to see our now value in the database. So you can see the states majority are filled up except the past. The white lines are those that is filled with the data, and the rest are missing value. Yeah, so you can have a very clear understanding of your distribution of your data in the table. Yeah. So this is one thing. You can have other visualization as well. I run through a bit fast because I have 15 minutes here. Yeah. So, so we can do all this data manipulation using IRIS or embedded Python, or actually the tools you do not need to do any scripting or programming. So this is a histogram with a box plot that you can see the anomaly detection. You can select the box plot and you can change the column to age at emission, and you say, okay, you just run, you regenerate a new chart for you, yeah, without you have to do all the programming. Okay, so this data looks perfectly symmetrical. And if you like to generate something like a tree map, so you just have to spell out which columns that you want to present. Yeah, so you can have the chart generated for you. Okay, you can also look at another chart type, sunburst. So this is quite interesting one. Yeah, you can select like February, you focus on the February, you can see the distribution of the data. Okay. Okay, for those like to have animation, you can choose this chart type. Normally will display over the year to see how the performance changes over the time. Yeah. So over here, I choose a different department to view. Some of the department don't have any business or any activity or certain quarter, so you can see that. Okay. So next, I like to show to your natural language to SQL. So this is where you can type human language to query your database. So your TrackCare or any database that you load into the IRIS, you can use any language. You can use Thai, you can use Bahasa. You can type mistake like a mix of English with the Bahasa, and the system will be able to understand and translate this to the SQL. Okay, so you can see the data being pulled out based on your query. The SQL generated is a little bit complicated. Sometimes the technical people do not even know how to write the filter correctly. So after you pull the data, we can further analyze this data set. For example, I want to ask the question like, show the average length of stay, yeah, break down by the doctor. So every doctor, what is their average length of stay? So some doctor like to keep the patient in the hospital longer. Hospital might not like them. Yeah, we want to be a fast turnover. So here is our data. This is a fake data anyway. So you can see all these doctor, And you might want to ask the system to list out the top 3, for example, so that you're lazy or sorting them yourself. So you want to see the doctor with the highest length of stay, the 3 doctors. So again, use human language instead of SQL. So we run this, we get the 3 doctors verified to be correct. So you can further ask other questions. For example, you like to see the breakdown of the number of records for each state or each doctor or each department. You can just easily ask the system. My demo database is from Sydney, so there's a lot of Australia states here. So, for example, it mixed with some data that I don't want to see. So I want to see only Australia states. So I can add additional condition, Australia only. So, and one thing you have to remember, we saw this Australia Capital Territory. That is not a state. You cannot fool the large language model. They know that it is not Australia state, even though they say Australia. So you exclude them, those records. So I also want to plot a chart, because we are talking about visualization. Tabular is a visualization. So here I purposely make some mistake. For large language model, they can understand what you're trying to say. So some mistake is okay, acceptable. They'll correct it for you. They don't write the wrong spelling, they write it correctly for you, put it in the chart. Okay, next area I want to talk about is back to the machine learning module, that we can use the same module to design RAG, the retrieval augmented generation. So I load the track care emergency training manual and also some video, and I give a name to the model that later on we'll use that model to query. So it's our plan to have a RAG for customer to query how to do things in track care. So they don't have to ask the support people. So on here, I selected the modules here, the model here, and I want to ask the question, explore the workflow to assign bed to a patient. So I know a lot of you all may know how to do it in the track care, but if you are new, and easiest way is to ask a large language model. It will go through the documents and extract the answer and produce to you in a nice format. Remember this format. Later I will use another large language model. They give the similar answer but different format. Over here, we have the source document that give you the knowledge. You click on it, you go straight to the documents. Okay? So you know where is the place that explains. So you have thousands of pages, you don't have to go and do a control find. So I use another model called Mistral. So some of you ask, what is the large language model we are using? This one is Mistral. So it's free of charge, it's open source, but we fine-tune with the healthcare knowledge. You can see that the answer here is slightly different from the earlier. So you have a choice of multiple large language model that we generally go through the training so that it understands some medical term. Okay, so and we will give it to you to run it from your local machine. You don't have to link to ChatGPT if you don't want to. So now I'm using a video. I have 1.5 hours video demo of a track care. So I want to ask a question. How does the doctor find out their workload? Okay, so those of y'all who know, you go to the clinical workbench, so clinician workbench, so we will ask, and the system will go to the video and convert it to text and get you the answer. So the source information, the context, generate the context is here. If you click on it, then the system will bring up the video on that portion that I don't have the voice to show to you, but the trainer actually explained. First is about the OT schedule and all these things. Then towards the middle, it will bring up and talk about the clinical workbench, clinician workbench, sorry. Yeah. So the doctor name is here. You can see the doctor name, the calendar. This is all his schedule. So this is his workload. Yeah. So all these things you can ask with human language and get your answer. Okay. So all these things is done with Iris with embedded Python. So any question, you may ask me later on. Thank you.